welcome to the Wednesday, the 9th of August. Celtic Up News from the David67 YouTube channel. Going to try and do a couple of shorter update videos today, dealing with a couple of important transfer rumours and stories that are circulating currently on the various Celtic news sites and also the transfer rumour sites across Europe. The internet sites suggest that the Carl Starfelt Celta Vigo negotiations are in their final stages and that a confirmation of the €5 million deal is expected in the next 24 hours. At this time, the Celtic would have two first-choice centre-halves in Nawrocki and Carter Vickers, and a number of younger backups, Scales, Kobayashi, and Welsh. The interesting fact is that the Lagerbielke story is that the Celtic had already submitted a £3 million transfer offer, would appear not to have been fully accurate in yesterday's news. However, Elfsborg did confirm that they and Celtic are starting to have negotiations, but Celtic had not submitted a confirmed offer. Elfsborg are keen to retain Lagerbielke, as he has recently broken into the Swedish international side, and Elfsborg are partway through their season and are trying to finish in the European qualifying places. However, as the €3 million transfer fee would be breaking Elfsborg's transfer record, it is likely that Elfsborg would in the end accept the offer. Having had a look at the various scouting sites and also clips and comparisons on YouTube between Lagerbielke, Mbuyamba, our other potential transfer target from Volendam, and also comparison to Mike Nawrocki, a recent signing from the Polish leagues, who made his full debut for Celtic at the weekend against Ross County. They actually measure up very closely in most aspects, and overall, the opinion of the scouting sites using the type of statistics and ratings for leadership, tackling, heading, aerial ability, anticipation, and various different mental factors such as concentration and focus and so on, shows actually of the three, Lagerbielke in most categories actually rates higher than Mbuyamba and Nawrocki. And various Swedish experts and pundits feel that Lagerbielke is destined for great success and will continue to improve further and further. Mbuyamba has the pedigree of having previously been a youth player at both Barcelona, then Chelsea, and has had one very successful season at Volendam, which has given comparisons to the previous Celtic great and current Liverpool star Virgil van Dijk. I would personally be very happy if Celtic were able to sign both Lagerbielke and Mbuyamba, as I always think it is very useful having two good, strong, young backups to come in, especially given Carter Vickers is recovering from knee surgery last season, and also with the position of central defence, they always are much more liable to bookings and suspensions and so on. And so I think two strong backups will be very essential for a successful European campaign. That does leave question marks over the future of Liam Scales, Stephen Welsh, and Yuki Kobayashi. And interestingly, in the last 24 hours or so, the Celtic sites are suggesting that Yuki Kobayashi is being lined up for a loan deal. It has been proposed that this loan deal may be within the Scottish leagues or English leagues or potentially back home to Japan. I think in terms of the fact that Kobayashi has a 5-year contract with Celtic, has only been in Scotland for a little over 6 months and is still gaining experience and bedding down in a new country, I think it would be much more beneficial for Kobayashi's loan to be elsewhere in Scotland or in the English Championship to allow him to progress at a slightly lower level. I think Kobayashi very much is a development project, and I feel in a year or so's time, with experience, first team football on a very regular basis, and becoming more used to the culture of Scotland, I think he could be a very successful player for Celtic in the long run. Liam Scales remains linked to Aberdeen, where he was successful last year on loan, and Aberdeen are said to be interested on signing him on a permanent basis. Stephen Welsh remains a good young Scottish backup, which of course is important for the various European Cup competition criteria for homegrown players and home trained players. However, he is very rarely playing for Celtic at the highest level, and so more for his progress and his career, transfer away from Celtic would be his best option, which then allows some of Celtic's younger B team players to come through into the first team squad, such as Lawal, who made a couple of substitute appearances last season. At this point, the deal to take Starfelt to Celta Vigo is still yet to be confirmed, and the deal bringing Lagerbielke to Celtic would appear to be at an earlier stage than first thought, and the Mbuyamba deal would appear just to have been a general declaration of interest. However, I would be very hopeful over the next 48 hours prior to our next league match on Sunday against Aberdeen that the situation regarding Starfelt and Lagerbielke and Mbuyamba is all confirmed. So I think we will end our discussion regarding Celtic's centre-back incomings and outgoings at that point. And thank you for listening, and speak to you again later.